Hello everybody out there. I thought I would go ahead and kick on the camera and provide this update to that original video that I made about the good, the bad, and the weird of my experience on Monjaro as a type 2 diabetic. I have now been on Monjaro for 15 months, and I thought it would be a good idea to just bring people up to speed on more the long-term aspects of it, especially if they're considering going on it right now. Once again, just as a disclaimer, I am not a doctor and I am not going to be claiming what you will. I'm going to just be relating what I have. These are my experiences and my experiences only. They could be anecdotal. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. So, sit rep. I have at this point lost about 140 pounds. I am not at my goal weight yet, and truth be told, I have been stalled out on the weight loss, but I've also been putting more focus on my fitness than the weight loss. Now, I mentioned in my original video that this is not a magic pill for weight loss. It is simply a helping hand. It is a tool. It is one more tool in the toolbox that you may need to achieve your goals and find a good eating habit lifestyle. And after 15 months, that holds true more than ever. I don't feel the food noise nearly as bad as I did when I first started, but this also isn't quite the same as it was when I first got on it and I was feeling the really tight abdomen thing. Honestly, both in the main functionality of it as well as the side effects, I don't really feel them too much anymore. It's become my new normal. It's 15 months of being on this thing and accepting the way that I feel and operating my day-to-day life within it. How would I feel if I cold turkeyed it? Oh, I don't know. Honestly, to be perfectly frank with you, I'm a little scared to find out. I have not yet begun the downward trend of weaning. I'm still on the fence about whether or not to even do that. I am not at my goal yet, so I'm still on it. I still plan to be on it. I don't know when that'll stop, but it has on many levels, both the good, the bad, and the weird, just become a bit of my new normal. It's my baseline. It's just how I feel and it's how I operate. I can still out-eat the drug and gain weight. I can still adhere to a healthy discipline, tune out some of the food noise with some healthy habits, which I'll get into, and do well on it. Now, one thing that I forgot to actually verbalize in that first video, and I did put it in text in the edit, is this was not a magic pill for weight loss. However, it has been a magic pill for my A1C. I really need to make sure I specify that because this is a video that is specifically about my Monjaro experience as a type 2 diabetic. So how has it been with my A1C specifically 15 months after the fact? Honestly, pretty darn good. I just had my doctor's appointment a couple weeks ago as a checkup, and they've been spreading the checkups out further since I haven't really needed them as often, which is a good sign. My last A1C check was 5.2. Doing pretty darn well there, and I'm still very happy with it. So is my doctor, by the way. He came into the exam room with my test results in hand, almost skipping. He was like, finally, somebody with some good news. You're doing great. All your levels are looking great. Which was really good to hear. Like, it's a pretty good feeling to be the reason that your doctor is smiling. So at this point, I think I kind of want to focus on specifically the last 6 months because those have been the most rocky. And not in terms of how the drug has affected me, but just in terms of honestly everything. Yes, I've been stalled out on the weight loss for about the last 6 months. Yes, I've also focused on my fitness journey for the last 6 months. And within that, there's also the element of battling depression for the last 6 months. I've been battling depression all my life. There's no reason to think that this was due to the Monjaro. It's something that has kind of ebbed and flowed and been an up and down part of my life, sometimes managed with meds, sometimes not. Sometimes it's worse, sometimes it's better. And over the last 6 months, it has been not extreme, but it has been worse in kind of a way that has been difficult for me to overcome on my own. So I have recently started taking some very gentle medication for it, and I've also recently started going back to therapy. The reason that I mention this is because honestly, one, I'm trying to be completely above board on all my health aspects, and this is one of them. Two, is this is something that has a direct corollary, not necessarily, I guess somewhat of a causational aspect, but I would say more of a corollary aspect with the weight aspect of things. My depression and my weight oftentimes go hand in hand with bad eating habits and depression kind of spiraling things and me getting down on myself and then having the malaise. it winds up in a cyclical kind of event. And within that, I think the Monjaro has helped. The fact that I haven't gained an obscene amount of weight back over the last 6 months has been encouraging. The fact that I've been able to maintain, sometimes lose, sometimes gain, but ultimately wind up in a fairly decent baseline of maintenance is encouraging, because my dietary habits have not been great. Sometimes they've been pretty well adhered to, sometimes not, but overall I would say that they have not been ideal. I need to do better. I have no issue stating that. It is an absolute fact. I need to do better if I want to continue and reach my weight loss goals. The fact that I'm able to maintain my A1C is a big positive while I undergo the mental health struggle as well as the physical health struggle. As far as the fitness side of things go, that has been extraordinarily wonderful. I've been going to the gym, I've been doing cardio. There have been setbacks and it has been frustrating. I'm not going to lie. I was starting to train for a 5K starting back in January, and I continually run into lower body issues, just general injuries. I pulled my hamstring. I wound up with some sort of odd pain in the joint of my toe that was very extreme, and my podiatrist did the x-rays. Everything came back like, well, you're in pain because you're in pain. It's inflamed. We don't know why. There's no cause for it. There's no burr. There's no lack of cartilage. There's no real explanation for that. So I got put on anti-inflammatory meds and pain meds, and that helped. And finally, it's like, it's gone now. So my doctor just kind of said, if we put out the fire, then it'll stop hurting. It was frustrating to hear, like, not having a solid answer in that moment, but at the very least, it was accurate and it has subsided. And then I start training a bit more, and then I wind up with stepping on a rusty nail and going through my toe. Not through my toe, but into my toe. And I had to go to urgent care, and that's healing now. Running has been off the table. I trained for a couple weeks. It's going great. And then I wind up with an injury. Frustrating, yes. But I've had alternative avenues for cardio, most notably my bike. And I've recently just started getting on that fairly often and riding further and further and farther, and harder and harder. It's an e-bike, so it has the pedal assist, and I'm kind of going up steeper hills and relying on the pedal assist a little less and trying to go a little bit of a further distance and getting my heart rate up there. And one of the benefits of this, well, honestly, the benefits of it have been immeasurable. If you can focus on your fitness journey while also undergoing this whole Monjaro weight loss deal, I highly recommend it, because the weight loss alone is not going to help necessarily in great strides with your cardiovascular health. It's going to take pressure off the system. It's going to not bog things down quite as much, but you really still need to, as much as possible, get moving, exercise your heart, exercise your lungs, exercise your muscles, and just kind of get that fitness thing going if you can, because again, the benefits are just immeasurable. The fact that I can go up flights of stairs and wind up at the top and have a full conversation without being slightly winded at all, it's a great feeling. Not to mention, once you get past that initial hurdle of starting to get into a fitness routine and having all the muscle aches and the I kind of want to die moments in there, once you get past that, you'll actually find the true joy within it. Like, I'm on my bike, I'm enjoying the fresh air. It's just a nice quiet ride on a back road in the country, and I'm watching deer and bunnies hop by. And I know that everybody's setting is going to be different. You may not live in the country, you may live in an urban area, but you'll still find the true joy, pleasure moments of finding that fitness routine and the benefits of it, not only after the fact, but also during, and just enjoying the actual moment of being active and being out there. And I'm pleased to report that being on Monjaro doesn't seem to impact that in any negative fashion at all. I'm able to really go for it, and I don't really have any kind of side effects that are bogging me down. No palpitations, no issues with my stomach or my gut that's forcing me to run home real fast, anything like that. It's just been this kind of neutral. In the fitness aspect of things, it hasn't been a factor at all, either positive or negative. It just kind of, that's been more the dietary side of things. And in the dietary side of things, when I am adhering to my good practices in those moments over the last 6 months, it has been a big benefit, and I still feel it help. For instance, when I have several days in a row of logging my meals and adhering to a good calorie deficit and doing well, I can focus on other activities. And if I feel hungry, which I do, when I feel hungry, I focus on work, or I kick on a game, or I play Civilization 5. That's a fantastic way to whittle away the hours. There are things that I can do if I just focus on something around the house, a hobby, an interest, a work thing. If I just focus on something, then that food noise that would ordinarily eke in there like a splinter in the eyeball, eke in there no matter what you're doing, it doesn't happen. It just doesn't. I'm able to focus on the things and I forget about the hunger. The hard part comes with the boredom. If you don't focus on anything, if all you're doing is listening to the food noise, then of course it's still going to come through. This is not a drug that is going to make you full 24/7, no matter what you do or don't do. It's not a magic pill. It wasn't at the beginning, and it certainly isn't after 15 months, but you can maintain the good habits and the good practices and the good exercises, and it will help you along the way, honestly, as much as you let it. Now, the other aspect of things as far as the Monjaro for diabetics in particular go is the question of, has this been difficult to find? Yes, sometimes yes. I wound up switching my pharmacy. I was going with Amazon home delivery and wound up switching it because I found out that our local medical group, we have a university in the area that has partnered with a lot of the hospitals around town. So everything kind of winds up within this umbrella. And I found out that they themselves have a home delivery service. So I wound up switching over to them, and they have had an easier time of getting hold of it in terms of having the distribution quantity necessary to fulfill orders. However, it has still been an issue where they, the big medical group that services half a state, are waiting for their shipment to come in. And they don't know when that'll happen. They check every single day. Quantities have not been sufficient for me to have it on the target every single month. There have been a couple times in which I've had to wait a week. That's just kind of the way it goes. Unfortunately, this is in major demand by folks that aren't diabetic. And I don't want to begrudge anybody if you're using this and you're finding your health journey with it. I think that's fantastic. It is a little frustrating for those that need to manage their A1C, or they will wind up with neuropathy or major health issues as a result of the diabetes, and they aren't able to acquire it. That's a big fucking problem, not going to lie. But fortunately, it really hasn't been more than a week at a stretch that I have not been able to have it in hand and get back on it and have that month locked in. And additionally, it also hasn't been a major factor within that week period. I don't know how far out I would need to be off of it to experience withdrawals. If there are going to be withdrawals, I don't know. Or any kind of side effects of the diabetes peeking back through with A1C, anything like that. But a week isn't it. I can get by for at least that week and get back on it, and everything is just like it never happened. Frustrating in the moment. I know it's frustrating for the hospital and the whole medical group. It's frustrating for a lot of folks, but hopefully things get resolved and manufacturing gets stepped up, and hopefully it gets cheaper. I just want to take this moment and really thank everybody that has reached out, especially in that original video. I know I hopped channels. I sunset that channel, and now I've moved over to this one. But thank you so much for all your comments and all your support. I've heard from so many people that have wound up getting on Monjaro, and not necessarily the tricks that they've had to use, but let's just say tricks. The tricks that they and their doctors have had to kind of come through and employ to be able to get insurance to approve it and get on the schedule with being able to acquire it. It sucks that it's like that. It sucks that it's difficult to get. It sucks that insurance is so restrictive in some ways, and it sucks that the pharmaceutical industry is so darn predatory that it winds up being $1,000 a month drug that actually that people need and benefits. But that's a whole political ball of wax, and I don't mind talking about it, but now's not the time. This video isn't the place. Believe me, if you want me to talk about it, by God, I will. But let me know, and we'll see how that goes. But regardless, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. That was my 15-month update on Monjaro. I'm still sticking with it. I'm still not reached my weight goals yet. I still have a lot of work to do, but that journey continues, and so do I. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you for following up. And thank you for leaving your comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear your experiences, and I'd love to hear from you. So go ahead and leave comments below. Make sure to like this video if you did, and feel free to subscribe to this channel. I will be providing updates to the fitness journey. I'll be providing updates to the weight loss journey. I'll be providing updates to my mental health journey. I'll be providing updates to my garden and my life. This is my channel for me to just talk about my personal whatevers that are happening around me. This is Rotted Mike. This is me in all my glory. So thank you again, and I will talk to you all soon. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.